All right. Yes. Happy Easter. What can love create? What can love create? So excited about today. Very special Easter miracle call. Talk about what a better day to celebrate miracles in our lives. What a better day to celebrate love in our lives. And what about better day to celebrate what's possible when we lean into love? What can love create? And what does that even mean? You know, the book opens with this very powerful quote: I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you. Well, what does that mean? How does love teach us? And what kind of magic and miracles can happen when you lean into that more and more? I'm just so happy. I'm so pleased right now. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, but to be in the seldom seen sanctuary in Georgia, and actually here with a very beautiful, powerful being. Yay! And we're going to come and we're going to talk about how love created this place, but also how love created this community and what is happening, and the magic that's happening. And one person who represents that in every time I see him, every time I hear his voice, every time I interact with him, is Dr. Hussein from Berlin, Germany. And he's going to start off today's call. Actually, I don't know if you even want to start it, just by sharing the miracle of how you came, but then your question as well, Dr. Hussein. I think it's fun to just share the backstory for people who don't know.
So, first of all, hello everybody. I have happy Easter. Yeah, my like in short, I just found that I read the book from Dr. Clint, and I really liked the book. And I was maybe like 30 pages in, and I just searched his name on Facebook. I think Dr. Giovanni's name. It was a really like really nice because I found like a Zoom call I just joined. I had no idea that it was about the book being translated. They were like looking for people who translate the book, right, in different languages. And I didn't know that. I just thought it's just like, a call that has been passed, just a recording. And then I just jumped in, and there was Dr. Clint. He asked me like who I am and what I was doing on the call, and I had no, I had like no idea what like it was all about. Right, it was really cool, and just from that, he invited me and asked me if it's possible, like if I can translate the book to German because I can speak German too, and that's what I did. I said like this. I don't believe in coincidences like this. So I just said, yeah, I will do it. And I almost finished now. I just have like a couple of videos left to do. Yeah, and then hopefully I'm finished with the video, like the bonus videos for the book.
Yeah. Can I say
Yeah,
one thing? One other thing that happened on the call, we had people. So the book is getting ready. It's already completed, and for instance, in Italian, in
yeah.
Portuguese, and it's getting ready. It's very close in German, in Spanish, in French, in Farsi, in Romanian, in Russian, in Arabic. And we are just trying to get a call together because the bonus, the videos that go along, but we didn't have anyone to translate in German. And the whole call, I'm thinking, I wonder what's going to happen. We don't. The German is so close. We don't have anyone to translate into German. And then out of nowhere, Dr. Hussein shows up on the call and he says, I think I'm on the wrong call.
Yeah, yeah.
Janet and Nick were there too. It was just so magical. And then as a result, joined the 100-day course. I don't know, Dr. Hussein, I probably never read this to you. I just want to read this because after that, kind of, it was like things like that happen where it's so mystical, and so divinely guided. I actually wrote this thing. I'm just going to share it right now because I think it leads to your question. I just said things are happening, dot, 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 in such a way I can't take credit. And I put, for example, Hussein appearing on the call today. And then I said, Jenny and all the translators, John, Carol, Jana, the direction my life took upon attraction to Alicia, the illness and recovery of my father, the appearance of Milo, the result of coming from new pulse consultations, the Marma miracles, the Mung detox, Amrapali's secret, my TEDx talk, from it all. Sometimes my ego wants to take credit, and I want to capture on video moments so that I can share those miracles with others and be proud of the direction my life has come. And at the same time, my mind is this, and at the same time, in my mind is the service it will do as I share these. Yet even with my ego popping out, somehow God manages to use such a vessel as me anyway, resistance and all, patiently providing the perfect experiences to reveal to my mind the truth. The truth is that I did not earn the space I take, and I cannot take credit. The direction and results I'm experiencing are a gift, as is each breath. I cannot rightfully claim credit, but I can appropriately feel the joy and express gratitude for the magnificent experience unfolding, which I get to join in the experience of. And I can trust that each experience and moment, pleasant or unpleasant, carries its own purpose and gift. To plan, to strategize, these have very limited outcomes. To surrender to source, to love, to guidance, to the dance of light and love, only this is unlimited. This was triggered from just the connection of our souls in that moment, Dr. Hussein. So I asked Dr. Hussein to share today a question. At the beginning of these Sunday miracle calls, we start with a question. And Dr. Hussein, what's your question?
So my question for today is like, what's the one thing you would like others to remember about you in the end of your life? And I thought like this is a really nice question maybe to ask, to think about. And for me, like if I would like, maybe I can start, I don't know, with that. Since I asked the question, I can say that for me, I want people to remember me as someone who has given like his 100%, in helping other people and healing as much as I can in every different way I can, and not to like be remembered as this one who was like closed-minded, but open-minded and opened himself to every possibility that is out there, through any kind of medicine, and has helped a lot of people. Like that's the way I want to remember it for the rest of my life, the end of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So powerful. And so many people will be blessed through that. Arlene says, you seem like that already. So awesome. I want to say, go ahead in the chat. Well, ask the question one more time, and we'll get some people to respond, and everyone can put in the chat. How did you phrase the question?
So what's the one thing you would like others to remember about you at the end of your life?
Yeah,
Like
what's the one thing you want people to remember, others to remember about you at the end of your life? What's the one thing you want others to remember? If you want to, you can unmute yourself and share. You can type it in the chat. Just hear from a few people. What's the one thing you want others to remember about you at the end of your life?
I don't know. Am I allowed to go?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, hi. It's very similar to Dr. Hussein, actually, that I cared, that I put myself there, and I was there for people, and I did all I could.
So powerful, so beautiful. Thank you, Chris. I see some people putting in chat. Andrea says that I truly understood them. Afsana, kindness and love. Linda Black, that I listened. Sarabjit, my unconditional love. Gail, that they felt so much love from me. Gail, can you unmute yourself? On the call yesterday, I had Gail on for a little bit. I met her for the first time. She's one of the fearless pod leaders for the 100-day training, was here in Atlanta in the Seldom Seen Sanctuary. Gail, what is it? What do you want to be remembered for at the end of your life?
That they felt the love. I mean, when I came into the room to have that pulse consultation, I want people to feel like that when they come see me. I want them to feel the love. I mean, there was just so much love in that room, so much energy. It was just so amazing, and I want that for me.
The the beauty of it is, as people watch that Facebook Live video together, I saw people say, all I could feel in that interaction was love. And they were speaking about you, Gail. And actually you brought that, and it is a reflection of you. So beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I want to go to Denny, Jill and Denny. I don't know if you can unmute yourself, but what is it that you want to be remembered for? Jill and Denny.
Hi, Clint. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Happy Easter. I think it was do you remember? The warmth of love.
The warmth of love. Go ahead and say that one more time.
The warmth. Yes. The warmth of love. Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Warmth of love. Awesome. And you, Jill?
Well, I just typed it up, and we better close Denny's ears up here. I'd love people to remember me. I feel I'm walking beside Denny as she holds the world in her heart. And I feel I'm supporting her in love and healing while she journeys. I know I'm on my journey, but I know we are so interlinked, and how I support her that, hello,
Okay.
I know I'm a nutcase. But yes, she's been told she is carrying the world in her heart and in her hands. And she has been through an awful lot to be able to do that. So, yeah.
Well, everyone who's had a consultation with Denny, if you felt the warmth of love, just go ahead and put in the chat. I felt that because I had 2 consultations with Jenny, and the whole thing was warmth of love. And honestly, Jill, I feel the exact same thing from you. And no less, no more, just that pure love. And you're demonstrating it now, even in your intention, which is to be of service. You know, it's just remarkable.
Thank you.
So
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Very, so true.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go. I think I say Mooney. I think I saw you had something you wanted to share. Can you unmute yourself?
I teach Dr. Naram's love through my healing dance. And I want everyone to remember that this is the lady who has been dancing till the end of her time and sharing the love. I love that.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mooney. I have a feeling that people are going to remember so much about you. So beautiful. Vikram, so fun to see you on the call. I was able to have the blessing of meeting Vikram first time, also here in Atlanta.
Yeah, so Dr. Clint, it was a pleasure to meet you. And I'd like to be remembered as a person who made a difference through his stories and metaphors.
Yes, Vikram. Fantastic. You know, there's a magic moment happens in the consultations. I get the gift of asking, what do you want? And Vikram, you're by profession a software engineer, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, so he's a software engineer. They run a fantastic business delivering food. His wife and him run this fantastic business. And when I asked, what do you want? He said, I want to be a fantastic storyteller. I was like, yes, Vikram. It made me so happy. And so we just talked for a long time. That's really what Dr. Naram, that's what he would emphasize over and over and over again is tell the stories. Tell the stories. That stories are what heal us. Stories are what lift us. Stories are what touch our hearts and move our souls. And so Vikram, that makes me so happy about that. So cool.
Thank you.
And happy you stayed it on this call like this. We want you to tell many, many of your own healing stories here.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, beautiful. I'm reading some of the chats and then we'll go to Jerem. I also want to go to Corey. Go ahead, Jerem, and then we'll go to Corey Branham.
Yeah, it came to mind a Sufi chant that I used to do with friends and community where you're doing this dance and you're whirling around and singing, all I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you, over and over again.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Colleen says she got goosebumps when you said that. It's so amazing. All right, Corey, I don't know if you're in a position you can come on video and share, but I'd love for you to share what you wrote. Let's see here. I don't know if we have to mute you. Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let's see. I have to remember what I wrote. It's gone so far back in the chat, I can't find it now. But I said something. Do you have it or not? Do you have it?
Yeah, I do. But you said that I learned from my mistakes and always continue to grow and learning and expanding my knowledge and soul in service of humanity.
Yeah, I think that's been my journey for many years now is every year I think, how could I know more? How is it possible? And then I learned something that just blows me away and it expands me and I help people more. Then I think, how was I even helping anyone last year with what I know now? And then I think, but every year there's something new that I learn that expands me. And this year, this is one of the things that has expanded me and continues to expand me is learning Ayurveda. And always at the same time, I'm learning other new things and having wonderful new awarenesses. And I'm reading right now the book that you wrote the foreword to about Jesus in Tibet. And I just love that book, and it's expanding me as well. And there's always new knowledge to gain.
You know, since you mentioned that, I was so surprised. One of my first times in India was today is Easter. It's such a special thing to celebrate, you know. And when I was in India, I was with Dr. Naram, and we're driving to this temple, and all of a sudden we started talking about Jesus, and Dr. Naram's like, I love Jesus. I was like, really? I don't know why. It just caught me off guard. I grew up my whole life loving Jesus. And I was like, why does this guy love Jesus so much? You know, he didn't grow up with this tradition or this, you know, faith. And he's like, Jesus was master healer. You know, he's my senior. He's my senior. I can learn so much from him. And without any kind of a shame, any kind of hesitation, just with this purity of love, he talked about how much he loved Jesus. And I was like, wow. Yeah, I don't know. It just touched my heart. Such a beautiful one.
When my wife was in India, she said that she saw a lot of pictures and images of a blue-eyed deity. And she asked the people, well, who is that? And they says, oh, I think that's because when Jesus was here, he had the blue eyes, and they always remembered that.
Yeah, for those who don't know, there is a lot of talk in India. There's a big period of time where we don't even know what happened in Jesus' life. You know, from the time that he was really young, like a teenager, until he was 20 something. I forget the exact years, but yeah. What if he went to India during that time and learned some things that helped him in his mission, in his calling? And there's a lot of evidence pointing to that. That's really interesting. So, you know, that's just a side note, but it's curious. It's interesting. Ajit, are you on the call? I just want you to share, first of all, how we met, and then what do you want people to remember you for?
Sure. Last week, I had the pleasure of meeting you out in Cabo on last Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. My quick story is that I tried to get an appointment with you anywhere in the continental US. I'm from Texas. And for whatever reason, they were all booked. And the only place that had an appointment available was Cabo. So I was like, I need to go to Cabo. And that's exactly what I did. And it was like the world was telling me to go. It was just something I needed to do and find time to relax for myself as well.
Real quick, before you share what happened there, okay, you can share what happened there, but then we also want to know the answer to this question after. So what happened when you were in Cabo? What happened? It's such a cool story.
We had our pulse consultation. It was an amazing, first of all, the venue, the healing center was amazing. It was Amy who kind of opened her arms out on her birthday. And for me, it was just shocking to see somebody like her, you know, I've never met her in my entire life, to open up her own center on her birthday where, you know, she could be thinking about, you know, what she wants for herself, you know, what people normally do for their birthday. But, she did the exact opposite and was in a perfectly giving state. So that kind of blew my mind. I'm not used to that type of openness. The pulse healing itself was amazing, to say the least. I think you asked me if I knew exactly which one of my doshas was jumping out at me, and I think we had a little laugh about that, because it was the pitta was screaming at you apparently, and I knew it too. But I guess, you know, the day culminated with the marma technique. I have frozen shoulder, and I was able to get about maybe 6 to 8 inches of extra movement at the end of the day, which was great. But ultimately, I mean, to me, that's just step one, right? It was for the last 20 years, my personal story is one that I've been told by doctors here in the US that, you know, they've shrugged their shoulders. We don't know why what's happening to you is happening, but here, just take this and see what happens. So it was inspirational for me to read your book and say, you know what, that there's perhaps another way to heal, to find balance within your own body. And, you know, the day was a great experience for me. And just to be surrounded by people that are on the same path and completely challenging the thought and the thought process that I have grown up with here in the US.
Yeah, so powerful. I want to share with someone else who was there to share her perspective of what she saw in you. I know Rochelle was there also in Cabo at the clinic.
Hi, Rochelle.
Hi there. How are you, Avi?
I went
great.
after the initial MARM, I went back in to help more people to do pulse consultations. And then outside, Rochelle, can you describe what you saw, what happened?
It was so beautiful. I could tell that he was a little bit disappointed, and he actually even said that he was a bit disappointed because I think, you know, he was looking for the really big miracle. And when you had tested before and after, he had gained, like he said, maybe about 6 inches or so. And what he said was, I really wanted to be able to do this. And he lifted his arms up over his head. And we're like, you just did it. You just did it. And it was just such a beautiful surprise. And it was so exciting. I wanted to burst into your room and say, Clint, come here, look at this. But we waited for you to come out.
So beautiful. What a good metaphor also for what love can create in our lives. Sometimes things can seem complicated at first, but what if just it becomes easy, you know, and it's a first step and there's many parts of the journey to come, but what a beautiful first step and how much you touched all our hearts because of that, Ajit, because you followed love. Now, Ajit, actually, Rochelle, first of all, what do you want to be remembered for at the end of your life? Dr. Hussein's powerful question, and then Ajit.
Oh, it's such an important thing to me to be able to spread love wherever I go and to be certain that people are feeling that love and so that they can recognize who they truly are.
Yeah, so powerful. Thank you. Also, Colleen's just getting goosebumps. She's our goosebump meter here. Beautiful. Thank you, Rochelle. You are that so much. Okay, Ajit, for you?
I think for me, I want to be able to kind of experience the healing and give back to the, you know, millions of other people that have gone through the same medical issues that I have, that are struggling out there, to be able to communicate the message that, you know what your doctor is necessarily telling you is, it may have some merit, granted, but there's definitely a different way. And I want to be able to show them what that different way is and give them a, you know, possibility that a different path, a different way exists.
Wow, so powerful. Well, thank you for being here and being a living demonstration of that. So beautiful. I want to come back to, thank you so much, Ajit, and lots of
You're
love
welcome.
to you. Oh, one other thing I want to say about what touched my heart about Ajit coming is he came, I says, how did you even know about me? And he talked about Karishma, but then he also talked about my little brother, John, you know, who was a bigger skeptic. You know, he always talks about I'm a skeptic. He was a bigger skeptic than me. And the fact that he recommended Ajit come, and then he flew all the way from Houston to the very southern tip of the peninsula of Mexico, San Cabo, just for a 15-minute post consultation. I don't know, that was love in action in so many ways. Like all the pieces that went into place for my mom's life to be changed, for my brother's life to be changed, and then for Ajit to feel that impact and come. I was just like blown away in that moment. I actually got teary-eyed. Yeah, so beautiful.
Dr. Clint, if I could say one thing, it's what I needed, actually, because I am kind of business driven in my head. That's that's who I am by personality. And if I would have been introduced to you, let's say, just by, let's say, turning to my left, I'm not sure if I would have been so accepting. But by routing me through somebody like your brother John, who is, absolutely business focused, it gave me like the, I'm not even sure what the word is, but it allowed the path to open, quite frankly, to go in your direction. So I really needed that.
I'm gonna cry already. I better give it to someone else before I burst with this joy right now. It's so powerfully said. In fact, Kyle's working our next miracle video in the series is about my little brother John. And even just what you said right now, Kyle, maybe we can introduce that or integrate it somehow. But thank you so much, Ajit. I'm just so grateful for you being on this call. I want to come back to Dr. Hussein to kind of summarize what you've seen, but also real quick, Colleen, who's here. What is your answer to that question?
So the answer to that question is, for all the guidance, the leadership, the care.
Colleen, speak a little louder, sweetheart.
Gary always tells me to speak louder. I should pay attention to that. So for all the guiding, the leading, the caring, the encouraging, the enlightening, and the educating that God has placed in my path, I only hope to share and inspire those going through their storms, because we all have storms in our lives. It's whether or not we have the right resource at the right time to lessen our storm damage, so that when we come out the other side, we can share those beautiful lessons that truly are blessings in our lives.
Oh, so beautiful. When I see Colleen, and we'll talk more about what love creates, talking about the power of the centers we were. Ajit talked about the power of the center we were at in Mexico. Then we come here to Atlanta, and here the seldom seen sanctuary is so much love and intention. I think Colleen is such a good example of love with intelligence and guidance, and like everything is situated with love. And then we went to Alabama, and I don't know if you guys have seen that Facebook Live video. I don't even know if Catherine is on right now. Catherine, are you on right now? Let's see here. Wow. So let's come to her in a little bit. But man, so much intentional, intelligent love. So Dr. Hussein, I just want to turn it back to you. The answers to your questions, any feedback or any thoughts or any reaction?
If you can hear me. Well, that was I really like the answers a lot about the questions. Yeah, like Ajit's like the experiences that people always like have, like with his frozen shoulder. I was just talking to my brother, like I think last night, I was telling him like how incredible it is that there's literally no treatment for like such, for this diagnosis in like Western medicine. And then like you have like a treatment by, by the Marma points, and it's really fast. Like he said, in the end of the day, he could like, I think he said like a couple of inches more, right? He could raise his hand, and how much this has like impacted him, right? In his way of thought, and how he like opens up more. So, yeah, so I think this is the reason why we are all here, to learn more from each other and to grow more, and like to not be like just closed-minded, like I said, but like to just open up more and be, and receive love and give as much as we can, So yeah, like I really like all the answers too.
This is the perfect segue, Clint. I might need to take it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Gary, handing it over to you. Gary, I saw he wrote, Gary was a man who loved with his whole heart and soul through the healing and uniting power of music and community. So Gary, handing it over to you to drop us from our head to our heart.
Well, I first want to start with just a brief story. When I was in India doing Panchakarma 2 years ago with Clint, and Dr. Naram, he kept on regaling me. Well, first of all, hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. It's so beautiful. I'm just so moved, as I always am, by the incredible love in this community. But when I was in India, Dr. Naram kept on regaling me with how amazing I was he was introducing me to people like Gary, Emmy Award-winning this, and extraordinary composer this, and da-da. And I was so uncomfortable with the way he acknowledged me that every time he acknowledged me in front of these dignitaries and people, I would just go, no. I would push it away. And then after a few weeks, Dr. Clint my beloved friend, said, "Can I give you some feedback?" And I went, "Yeah, Dr. Naram's really upset with you that you won't receive his acknowledgement and his love and his appreciation for you." And I went, "What? He really is he's not, it makes it doesn't land in you, and that's a real problem with that." And I suddenly realized that I was so much more comfortable with giving love and giving praise, and giving help to people, but I wasn't allowing myself to receive the love, and that was his way of loving me. And I remember going to this beautiful temple. I forget the temple by the ocean, Clint. Do you remember which one that was? I forget. I think it was a Lakshmi, but I'm not sure. And we were at the tip of the point of the ocean. And I looked at him. I said, in tears in my eyes, I said, "Dr. Naram, I am so sorry for dishonoring your beautiful, loving acknowledgement of me. And I promise you, I will do whatever I can to allow myself to deal with my discomfort and to receive your love." And he said, "Very good, very good, very good, Getty, very, very, very good." Wait. I said, Can we start over? Can we start?" He said, "Oh, yes, yes. So very good, very good." So in the spirit of that, I want to share this unique track that no one's ever heard before, ever, which is the opening track to Graceful Passages. And Graceful Passages, as many of you know, is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year for helping people reframe death, dying, and the fear of death and dying and illness as a way of understanding that sometimes, like Colleen said, we enter into the storm, we don't know what the outcome will be, and we need to let ourselves trust and let ourselves be loved through the cycle of life that we're being asked to experience. And so just as a way of inviting us to expand that muscle that Dr. Naram challenged me to do, which is letting ourselves be loved. We might have played this track before, but the first time we've ever heard, the only time, this track is unique because instead of practicing the art of goodbyes, this is just about letting yourself be loved, letting yourself expand the muscle that allows yourself to receive the love from everywhere it comes, right? And I want to invite you, and the ending, normally where the goodbyes are, is a kind of a hymn that I wrote for orchestra. And one of the deans of the National Cathedral said, "Gary, that's a hymn. You should turn that into an Easter hymn. You should take some Latin that actually becomes and turn that into a hymn that can be sung in churches around the world." So for those of you who hear this and your tradition is Christian and you actually have a download around which prayer should be set to it, you'll hear the music. It's very clear. And just like Clint's opening up the world for 30 translations, I'm opening anyone that wants to help figure out how to launch that as a prayer for Christianity or for Easter. I invite you to, but mostly just let yourself receive the love. And here it is. And I just invite you to experience, I think maybe because this is the only music we might share in this call, it'll be up to you, Clint, whether you want to spotlight or not. So
yeah, I think it's a good idea, Mike, if we spotlight on this. And so just practice receiving the love. If your video is on, just practice receiving that love. And as we're giving love to everyone who's spotlighted, just practice as you're giving it, also receiving that in your life.
Here we go. Use the music to slow yourself down, drop into your heart. Take a deep breath and let yourself be filled with thoughts. And feel the miracle that you are and that we are.
has ever prepared us for this experience. We think it's the end. No. It's another beginning. Another beginning. It's knowing that you're loved. Knowing that you're loved. It's not easy letting yourself be loved. Of course, we've learned to judge ourselves. And we're always judging ourselves. But I learned to listen, that I was loved. I was loved. And then I would forget that I was loved. Those were the most painful times for me. Forgetting that I was loved. So you've let yourself be loved while you've been here? And you've judged yourself? And you've forgotten that you were loved? And you became alone? But you will always be here. You are blessed. You are forgiven. You are an angel. You have to listen that you're loved. And you have to forgive all the time. Listen that you're loved. And forgive all the time. You are love.
So remember, remember, remember that the life that we're here to live is around balancing the being and the doing and the receiving and the giving and the giving, and the gift that we give is so connected to how much we're allowing ourselves to receive the love that's always here for us at all times. And I just love you all. And Clint, thank you for the rare and beautiful opportunity to share my music, because what I want to be remembered for is exactly what you're giving me the opportunity to do on this call. Love you. Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing. Like there's half of me that just says we can just end the call now. It's just it's so it's a perfect place to just really anchor in that love, just lean into that more and more and feel what can love create in your life and through you. Man, I just want to say that we've been surrounded by such a cocoon of love. Ajit talked about in Cabo, the center there with Amy, and then coming here to Atlanta where Jaina and Kitty Pope, I don't know if Kitty is on the call. Let's see if she's on the call. Kitty, I don't know if you can share your video, but man, so much love went in. She brought us to the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Park. And then the A.D. King Foundation, hosted this presentation at the BPU Global Center. And I don't know if you guys know A.D. King. I didn't know. A.D. King was the brother of Martin Luther King Jr. As devoted, as loving, as passionate, did as much for the whole movement, but was always behind the scenes. And the fact that this man, there's a man called Dr. Babs, who was the one that was coordinating the event with Kitty Pope. And when he found out, he's like, we should honor people like this. Why do we only honor people in the spotlight? And so he created a documentary. I'm getting chills right now, but he created a whole documentary and then a movement and a foundation to honor A.D. King, because that is a kind of love we don't see in the history books. We don't see on television, but it's what fuels so much of our lives. It's our mothers and our fathers and our brothers and our sisters, our neighbors. It's our teachers that care about us. And it's people that are behind the scenes working with so much love. And the fact that it was hosted by this A.D. King Foundation, I was thinking about Dr. Naram, thinking about this whole movement, thinking about all of you, and think about what is love creating, just even the amount of love that went in to create each of these books in the different translations is off the charts. The amount of love that went in to create the different clinics. We were just in it's called Eclectic, Alabama. And when we walked in the space, it was so stunning. And there was these kind of things all over the place, like quotes from the book, pictures of Dr. Naram. There was even plants growing. And this little boy named Lionheart says, do you know what these are? They're mung beans. My mom planted mung beans because we run out. She loves mung beans. So we planted all these mung beans. So there's these mung bean plants surrounding, and so much love. I'm like, wow, all behind the scenes. And Eclectic, the owner of the center we went to, his name was Aubrey. I don't know if he's on the call or not, but he said that eclectic is Greek for eclectic or something like that, where in olden times they'd buy a plot of land and they'd invite those they love. They would be selected by love to come and reside there. And he said, you coming to Eclectic, Alabama is a perfect example of this word. You've been chosen by love. And you're here to spread this love. I just felt it so much. Kitty, for a moment, can you just talk about what was the guidance of love that and then what was your experience as we were presenting at the A.D. King Foundation in Atlanta?
Yes, while you were presenting, Dr. Clint at the A.D. King Foundation, and we were all there, I just thought about how proud Reverend A.D. King would have been to have someone like you to come to his foundation, the foundation after his death. And because you believe in so many of the same things, spread love and peace and joy and justice around the world. And he, as well as Mrs. King, would be so proud Mrs. King has gone through a lot because, in fact, they found out later that her husband was probably murdered because he drowned in the swimming pool in the backyard. He was an avid swimmer and he drowned, yet no water was in his lungs or passageways. It was almost indicated that he died before he was thrown into the water. So that was another, he was another civil rights leader who was killed, and yet the world never heard about him. And Miss King has gone through so much. She went through a deep depression because after that she lost 3 of her children. So if you meet this lady who's just like an angel, it's like being around pure love. She came out of all of that more loving than ever before. Her kids, her 3 kids died prematurely of heart conditions. She had 6 and 3 died. But now she is just an angel. So I know she's looking forward, and her Dr. Babs, to working with the Ancient Secrets Foundation in some kind of way. So we're so happy that you were able to come, Dr. Clint.
It was so powerful. I didn't know what I was walking into, but when I walked into and I found out who this person was, and also Miss Naomi King, it was just so beautiful. In fact, Jana was there and Esther was there. And I just want Jana, well, just talk a little bit about your experience over this last few days. I mean, honestly, it's through your and Kitty's invitation that this love is spreading in this way. So you want to share a little bit, and then also about the gift we gave them, because it's such a miracle story.
Yeah.
It has been an amazing few days, to say the least. I mean, this is just so unusual. You don't have this every day, and it's pretty amazing. You know, the A.D. King Foundation, it was really amazing to be able to see the passion that Dr. Babs had for the foundation and for the work that they are putting into, you know, the organization. It's absolutely amazing. Dr. Clint's talk was incredible, and every person felt heard and understood. They were engaged. It just seemed like, you know, we just kind of all hung out for a minute afterwards and just engaged with each other. It was just really a fun night, just filled with love and with joy. And I so appreciate Kitty putting this all together. It was really amazing.
Janet Schwartz says, Jana is a miracle herself.
Yeah, she is. She is. It was such a joy being around each other. We all had lunch at a New Ponce City Market, and we went to the memorial and took pictures, and it just felt so, so good. And I'd like to add that the A.D. King Foundation does a lot in Atlanta. In fact, they do more than the King Center, the actual Martin Luther King Center. Well, I mean, more in terms of getting out in the community, doing, you know, charity-like projects. And I just thought about that. I said, in the death in Atlanta, A.D. King is almost outshining MLK. And in life, MLK sort of like outshined him. So maybe A.D. King is getting his turn to shine, because the foundation is certainly doing a whole lot in Atlanta. They're very popular here for the charity work that Mrs. King and Dr. Babs do together.
In fact, there's a really beautiful moment where we gave a gift. And if you were on a previous call, you heard the story about this gift, but I want Andrea, I'm just gonna spotlight her for a moment. Just talk about what was the spark of love that inspired this gift. And then I'll share a magic moment that happened at that center. And as we're sharing this story, yes, it's about A.D. King, it's about this presentation, but it's about you. I want you to be paying attention to the love that comes in you and what can love create in you. So Andrea.
Namaste, everyone, and happy holidays. You know, my favorite thing to do on this earth is to give gifts. And I thought it was important that we present something to Mrs. King that represented Dr. Naram. And as you all know, Pankaj Naram, Pankaj means lotus. And I knew that this introduction of the ancient organization to the King Foundation would be a lifelong friendship from this point forward. So it was important that we do something symbolic, you know. So, and of course, Jana, miracle worker, got things going and made it happen. So I thank you so much, Jana and Esther. And
Yeah,
Esther flew in. So my goodness,
so
Esther,
Andrea,
thank you.
So Andrea gave me a phone, or she sent me a text, and she told me, I mean, through her text, you could just feel her passion, that she really wanted something to happen. And so I immediately called her and I just said, okay, tell me your vision. What are you thinking, about this gift? And so she gave me the vision. I said, can you please send me something showing what you want? And she did. And so I immediately got on the phone and started making some phone calls to some of the elite shops and stores and manufacturers in the area. And they just weren't, nothing was available. Even the manufacturer that is here in Atlanta, they weren't open. They were sending everything back to New York. When I talked to Andrea, she said the manufacturer was not making the specific gift until May. And, that's way too long. So I knew that Esther was coming and I needed some help because I had another project I was working on. And so I called her, I said, this is what we need. And she goes, okay, I'm on it. Within 5 minutes, she had it purchased and being, she was going to go pick it up. And she's like, I'll bring gift wrap and everything. We'll just wrap it when we get there. I mean, it was amazing. I was like, I can't believe this just happened, but it did.
Tell us what was the gift, because this is so powerful. I got chills when I saw this unfold.
It was amazing. And then Andrea, tell us how you felt when I texted you and told you that you got it.
What was the gift? You can't leave us suspense.
I love it. I love that there's so much suspense. It was a crystal lotus. The holder was a crystal lotus, and it was gorgeous, and it had a place for the candle, a little tea light.
Yeah, this is a picture of giving them. And so as you may or may not know, even the lotus is on here. Dr. Naram's first name, Pankaj, means lotus. And so he gave this beautiful crystal lotus. And not only that, but Kitty Pope just became a grandmother. Kitty, can you share the name of your grandbaby?
Yes, I just became a grandmother. We were expecting a boy for some reason because everybody was saying a boy, but it's a girl. It's a girl, and the first name is Malu, which is Hawaiian. It's a Hawaiian name, and the middle name is Lotus.
Lotus. So she was holding this baby, holding the baby for the first time the day before, whose middle name is Lotus. Now we show up to the BPU center, and right next to the center, do you remember the name of that beauty salon? I don't know if Kyle or anyone remembers the name of it. Anyway, it was like the Lotus Beauty Parlor or something like this. And so like everywhere we were going, we're just getting like this, it's like a divine gift wrapped up for us to unwrap and be just surprised by this love. It's amazing. So beautiful. Anything else you want to share about that, Jana or Andrea or Esther?
Well, Andrea's reaction to it was amazing.
I cried. I just cried. I think I was overwhelmed with emotions, and I was in carpentry class at the moment. And I just thank you, Jana and Esther and Dr. Clint and Dr. Naram, Baba Ramdas, Jivaka, Buddha. Thank you, God. Thank you so much for this one. And Miss Kitty Pope, thank you for pulling this off.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. So then we were here, we did this beautiful clinic in Atlanta, and Colleen, when we walked into this space, seldom seen sanctuary, everything was so intentionally placed with so much love. Esther was like the Hmong chef, she flew in all the way from California here just to cook Hmong all day at the clinics and did it with so much love. It was so delicious. When you think about how did love create this space, Colleen? What is love creating in your life?
Oh my gosh. So many things.
Here, I'll bring it closer so Gary doesn't make us.
Yeah, I just want to celebrate for a minute. I'm the grand. I get the beneficiary of being the one that connects Colleen to Clint through Jana, and I just want to say I'm so thrilled for all of you getting to know Colleen and her sanctuary. Go for it, Colleen. I love you so much.
I love you too, Gary, and all of you. I feel, oh my gosh, this is just so beautiful. the sanctuary is a place for people to come, to disconnect, to be supported in the way they need to be supported so they can reconnect when they leave. That's the intention of this space. And it just was downloaded to me. There's no other way to say it. I said, all right, what's next? And I purchased the property. I'm getting into motion everything that's happening here. And a big part of it was Lovey. So Lovey was created for some children in a cancer ward in a hospital in Atlanta by my best friend, my first roommate, Pam. I call her Pammy. I'm the only one that can get away with that. And when I saw it, I said, I need Lovey. I needed Lovey to remind me, right? So Lovey has an Instagram page, and there are Loveys that we give to the recipients of Win Tuition that we serve.
Mhm.
And they post when Lovey is spreading the love. So it's where is Lovey? And that Lovey is neither a he nor a she. Lovey is pure unconditional love. And that's what Lovey does, is every time Lovey goes out, Lovey spreads that unconditional love for those that don't know what that feels like.
People want to know how to find out more about your center, Colleen.
You can go to wintuition.org and we'll put it in the chat. It's
Yeah.
WIN, the number 2, ITION.org. And it does stand for the intuition to have all parties win at life together, because we're not meant to do it alone. Did you disconnect?
No, we're still
Okay.
connected. I was trying to put in the chat, but the screen went away. So
So
beautiful.
thank you for coming. I'm so honored. I mean, just the way everything has worked out and how I came to know Gary, the things that have unfolded since that time have just been just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I don't know if Jana, you want to touch on it, but we're trying to find a center here in Atlanta for a long time.
Yeah.
Like all the appointments were booked months ago, but we didn't have a real place to come. And then,
Well, we had anchored my office, but it was sold. And so, we needed to find a different place. And I just happened to be on a Zoom call with Gary, and we were talking about what we're working on, our projects. And I was talking about, I really need to connect with people in the community to be able to find a place for the Pulse Clinic. And everybody was closed for COVID. And we contacted many people. And Kitty specifically, Kitty worked tirelessly, contacting yoga studios and, health food shops. And I mean, she went up and beyond, it was amazing. She'd call me and say, I think this is going to work out. And then it wouldn't work out at the last minute. And so I was just on the Zoom call with Gary, and I mentioned it, and I said, I'm not originally from Atlanta, so I don't really have a strong warm market. And he's like, I've got my friend who's there in Atlanta. Here's her phone number, here's her email, and give her a call. She'll, you guys will connect, and tell her that she has to do this. She has to. And so I said, thank you graciously. And when I went to go send the email, just not even 3 minutes later, Gary had composed this beautiful message to Colleen, and it was very personal. So I knew that she was a very dear soul to him. And to be honest, I was a little starstruck. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I supposed to respond? It was really quite funny because you had to be there. Anyway, so I responded to the email, but Colleen picked up the phone and called me the next day, and we immediately connected, and we had probably an hour conversation. I mean, this is just so divine. You just, as her word, she always says, you just don't make this crap up.
Well, and I don't know if you know this, Clint, but the way that Colleen found out about me was that she was a huge fan of the Deepak Chopra wisdom films that she saw on Gaia TV, which, by the way, everybody, you should go to Gaia TV and look for Islands of Inner Peace is what they're called. And that's how, and then we ended up working together on the Habits of Heroes project. But yeah,
I would like to add, I need to add to that, Gary. So I went through a very bad divorce, and I'm sitting there watching the Gaia channel, and all of a sudden this Islands of Inner Peace comes up, and it's Gary it's Gary opening it up, first of all, because that was key for me. It was what Gary shared before the inner piece played. And then the visuals and everything. I mean, my mouth was open the entire time. I kept on hitting play, 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 because it's a 7-minute thing. I would call my son and say, you got to come over and watch this with me. This is just absolutely amazing. 2 weeks later, I'm at a friend of mine's place in Virginia doing a workshop with them, evaluating it for the single caregivers that we serve. And we go down into the media room, and this meditation comes up on this beautiful screen. And I said, Jeff, this sounds really familiar. I've felt this before. I've heard this before. And when he shared with me, it was by Gary. He handed me his cell phone, and Gary was on the phone. It was the coolest. I mean, it was beautiful. You can't, and my saying is, you can't make this stuff up.
Beautiful. I want to go. Thank you so much, everyone. It's so clear. And this is like the tip of the iceberg. Jana and Gary and Colleen and me and everyone that was at the clinic, Esther and Kyle, we could share story after story of the miracles that happened. It was so fun to see Aparna and Shailesh. They came. It was my first time meeting them. They've been on every miracle call every Sunday since the beginning, except for one. And I was just touched with so much love and so much inspiration. And we could have them talk about it. Catherine, we could have Gail, Kristen, Beth, Norberto. There was so much magic and so much miracles. I want to go though to you and what is love guiding in you? And what does this really mean? You know, that opening quote in the book says, I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you. But what does that actually mean? And what is love creating in you? Sometimes we'll spotlight people that have been spotlighted before, but I want to go to Kumar and pretty soon we're going to go into breakout room and you're going to interact with other people about what is love creating through you? What does it mean to be guided by love? And those two questions, what does it mean to be taught by love? And what is love creating through you? Now, Kumar, I've never talked to him before. I just saw a couple posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, and we got Kyle coming out here too. Just 1 second. Kyle, yes. This is a good living, breathing example of love in creation and in experience. Yeah. So real quick, Kumar, I've never talked to Kumar before, but I just saw a couple posts and you got some
Yes.
dancing carrots behind you and bats.
That's my company story. We make animation. A lot of animation stuff we do.
Beautiful.
So it was just magic kind of, I was do you want me to answer a few specific questions?
Yeah, actually just share what brought you here.
Okay, what brought
and what happened?
Yeah.
Did you came in?
It's very interesting. I've been watching a lot of law of attraction videos, to manifest some of my life goals. So one of the life goals is to animate a 3D animated feature film, Hollywood feature film. So I was looking for a lot of videos. So one of the vlogger called Tuli, and she mentioned that she's going to tell us Dr. Naram's magic mantra, and then you can manifest in 24 hours. So I did that, and probably what then it started prompting me from inside, who is Dr. Naram. Then I started looking for Dr. Naram, and then the first video which I saw was Dr. Clint and Dr. Naram talking about his mother, what happened to her, and then they were saying that this book is going to come. So just go and get the debit list and start waiting for the book and stuff. So I really liked it. I thought that okay, book is going to come, but that video was very old. Book has already come, and then I watched and looked out for a lot of other videos for Dr. Naram, and I was hooked to it, and I binge watched it for through 4-5 hours, and I started making notes of all those mama points and started looking for herbs, because in India, herbs are easily available in every household. So cow's ghee, it was magical. We were eating that buffalo's ghee, and now I've been asking in my family that I need cow's ghee now to do a lot of stuff. So I decided to meet Dr. Naram, and I started looking for how to book a call with Dr. Naram. Then suddenly I found a video of Krishna and his mother talking about a prayer meeting. I was shocked. I mean, morning I was very happy that I find a happy soul, and in the evening I was crying. I literally cried, and that was the power of Dr. Nara. And then I was very sad. Then some inspiration drew me that that book they were talking about, and then I started looking for that book. So it was on Amazon, and I thought that I really need to read it instantly because I was so hooked to this family. So I bought it through Kindle and I started reading it. The first story of Robot, and the video which I saw on the website, the ancientsecretwebsite.com, and it was amazing. It's life changing videos, and I ever since those mama points which Raba's mother did that, and I started telling people, do this, do that, and these powerful mama points, and what do you want, all those things. So when I finished that book in like 1 month kind of period, I instantly saw Dr. Clint's video of putting the live video of the dog which followed him throughout the clinic, and that's when I knew that Dr. Naram is everywhere. It's like he's omnipresent. And then I decided to send a message to Dr. Clint that I'll be very happy to join these miracle calls and everything. So this is all miracle, and I I am in the challenge basically. I have something in my mind that I've asked for it, and I'll share once it happens, and I'll share soon. So thank you, Dr. Clint, that you gave me an opportunity to talk to everyone. This lovely, awesome 169 people here.
Yeah.
And,
What I
and
loved
you're
it.
coming to India, right?
Yeah, yeah. What I love is on his first post, he's like, I feel like I found my family.
Yes.
He just watched one of the videos where he just saw so many of you and the love that was happening. He's like, I don't know how to say this, but I feel like I found my family.
Yeah.
It's-
I feel like connected, I just want to come there. That's it.
Oh, that made me so happy. I want to say
So
that,
you coming to India?
yeah, it's going to be a surprise, but yeah, even I'm coming to India soon. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to book the appointment already.
I want to go, Argavan. I don't know if I'm sorry to like put you on the spot, but I love when, thank you, Kumar. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for sharing in such a powerful way, for showing up and following love and seeing where love guides you. Kumar, Agravan, what does it mean to you to let love teach you? What does that mean?
First of all, hi to everyone. And to me, to love each other because when love not in the world, nothing it's good, and all of the people unhappy, and love teach me to be happy and to help people, to hug everyone, and just happy and living, and yeah, just this.
Amazing.
I
Argavan,
love you, Argamon.
those who don't know, Argavan, you're 13 years wise, and she's joining from Iran, and she joins every Sunday. And she's such an instrument of contagious healing. She helps all the people in her family by just applying the ancient secrets and helping them. And I just want to say, you're such a good example of what love can create. And it's independent of our age, our whatever, our background, wherever we are, love can create through us. So Argavan, what is love creating through you?
I am sorry, I don't understand what you say.
It's a little bit of a funny question, but as you're being taught by love, what is love creating in your life and around you? How is love? I know you talked about how it's making you happy and want to hug people. And what is love? What is love? What is it when you're feeling more and more of this love? What is it creating in your life?
ارغوان یعنی این عشقی که داری میگی احساس میکنی برای آدما، درون تو چه چیزی داره؟ برای تو دنیای تو چی درست کرده؟ متوجه میشی؟
Okay, بله. I think love. I think hugging people that make you be happy and give energy. And I hug everyone in my school because I get energy from them, and love and say to me just be fine and love each other. And yes, it is in my word love, that's me.
So beautiful. I'm gonna go to Sangeeta next. So beautiful. Sangeeta, what does that mean to let love teach you? That love will teach you. Thank you, Argavan.
At the moment, actually, I know what's coming. Hearing Argavan is so beautiful, and yeah. Um,
Tell me what happens in your heart when you're hearing Argavan talk.
it just expands my heart so much, and like it fills me with so much tears as well. So yeah.
Definitely, Argavan. Your love is teaching you and guiding you, and you're an instrument of contagious love.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to go into a breakout room right now where I want you to answer those two questions. You know, with the other people in your breakout room, we're just going to take 2 minutes per person. We'll just be like in a room with about 4 or 5 other people. But what does it mean to have love guide you? What does it mean to have love teach you? And then just pay attention. What is love creating in your life right now? What is love creating in your life? So right now you'll see on the screen, and we'll come back for the conclusion. We're going to be in the breakout room for 10 minutes total. And so I'll give you some notice, but those 2 questions, what does it mean to be taught by love? What does it mean to be guided by love? And then what is the demonstration of that in your life? Go ahead. You can go ahead and click on your screen, and it'll just show you a place where you can click on it and you can go, and then we'll come back here in a few moments, about 10 minutes, and just make sure everyone has a chance to go in the room. Oh, good. All right. And if there's anyone, let's see here, just making sure everyone has at least one person in their room. So go ahead and you can click and go into the breakout room if you haven't already. Ah, there we go. And those questions, those 2 questions. Let's see here. There we go. On your screen, you should be able to see where to click to join. There we go. Awesome. Fantastic. Just making sure. And if there's anyone, is there anyone left in this room? I just want to say hello, welcome.
Romai.
Romai. What does that mean to actually, can you come sit here? I want to hear, what does it mean to you?
Romai is the director of events at the sanctuary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is the coolest.
And my very, very, very good friend for quite a few years as well.
Well, I want to hear, what does it mean to you to have love teach you? Romai.
First of all, that you're being open, and for me, it teaches acceptance.
I love that. So that you're open and it teaches acceptance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I joined you because I was put all alone in a breakout room with nobody else to join. So hope I'm not interrupting you.
No, not at all. It's good to have you here. I hope people can find their way back if that happens to them.
And also, Clint, when you get a chance, talk about, just do a little promo on Soul Song. I'd love that if you could.
Absolutely. I have that planned.
And who is that beautiful being I just saw?
Her name is Romai.
Yes.
I'm all alone in the breakout room too.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Romai, I think Gary can hear you if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, just 1 second. I'm going to put it, I'm just making sure everyone, what is love?
Oh, somebody said you were most likely in the breakout room with love, brother. Gary, you are never alone.
Yes, it's the self-love room. Honoring self-love.
Ah, that's perfect. I love that. That's exactly what I needed.
Romai, she's the director of activities here at the foundation.
At the Win Tuition?
Also, she's a part of the board of Win Tuition, and
Nice.
she's the director of events at the sanctuary.
We've got to do a soul song for each of your board members.
Yes.
Oh, that was so
Oh,
fun.
okay.
What is love creating through you, Romai?
That would be the acceptance that it's creating through me.
The acceptance.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Can you share more about that?
Just seeing people for who they are and accepting them for who they are and embracing everything about them, the good and the not so good. I won't say negative, but the maybe some flaws because we all have them. And that's it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ah. So beautiful.
Romai is a woman of few words,
I
but
am.
of amazing, amazing words when she speaks them.
Yeah. Wow, so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
And then we already kind of asked you, but anything else you want to add to it?
Oh my gosh. Just to have the opportunity to have this vision come to fruition is just amazing.
Wait. Let me see it again.
So it's the sanctuary as the foundation, and then the single caregivers and their families that we serve through intuition, and then leaders of families, leaders of business, leaders of communities, and leaders of causes that we serve through focused outcomes. And in the middle, you see what is the outcome. It's helping people to reconnect with the essence of their own love.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
So
And we're
beautiful.
going to be duplicating these sanctuaries and franchising them so that they go into many other communities around the world. The next
Wow.
one may be Rapid City, South Dakota. I'm going to
Yeah.
go check that out in a couple of weeks.
It's so exciting. I love it. It's so clear that love is creating through these beautiful beings. How about you, Doc Marian? What is love creating? First of all, what does it mean?
Oh,
to be
amazing joy. But first, love is creating non-judgment, which is a real big one for me.
Huh.
Because when you really want to step in you have the heightened awareness of trying to be unconditionally loving, which we're never at every moment. I know what gets in the way. And what gets in the way is judgment, self-judgment, self-acceptance, and acceptance of others without judgment. And then you can feel the joy within because you don't have the shadow blocking you. So that was my big one.
I love
And
that.
when it brings joy, it brings everything, because joy is only coming from within. So you have to decide what's blocking your joy, and that's the real challenge. And when you find out what that is, you start opening your heart to yourself, and then you can open your heart to others, because you can't love anyone more than you love yourself.
Lynn
That
says,
makes sense? Yeah.
Lynn says in the chat, she says, wow, with like, I think 5 W's at the end. I
Yeah.
love the word non-judgment. So beautiful, so powerful. Goosebumps. Beautiful.
Well, I honor you for all of your work. You guys are wonderful, really
Wow.
wonderful.
Just feels so good to have you here.
Thank you. It feels so good to be here. I'm usually off camera because my internet in Sedona is so unstable. I cut everyone else in the house off as soon as I put the video on, but it's tough luck.
Sedona is my spiritual home. I go to Cathedral Rock a lot.
I was there, yeah, I do. I was there yesterday. You should come and visit. You're welcome to come and visit.
Well, you send me Gary at wisdomoftheworld.com. I'd love to know more about you.
Go to shiftyourlife.com.
Good. Okay, Claudia. Claudia, what does it mean to you to like have love teach you and love guide you?
It's living in the moment, being spontaneous, and losing fear.
Wow. That's beautiful. What would you say love is creating through you or in your life right now?
Well, maybe I didn't understand that these are two questions. So I'm more spontaneous and more free and living in the moment. Living in the moment instead of thinking this and that, future and back and forth, like being available in the moment.
Wow, that's really powerful. I love your smile, Claudia. Wow.
I love yours too.
and that artwork behind you is amazing.
Yeah, it really is so beautiful. So
Clint,
beautiful.
I'm going to leave promptly at 9:30, just so you know. So I'm assuming there's not going to be another musical experience, right?
Would you like one to be?
Well, it's totally up to you. Whatever I can serve.
Yeah, I think we'll continue this for about 3-4 more minutes. And I want to go to Elena next. Elena, I don't know how to say your last name exactly, but I'm going to say Junquera. Elena Junquera. Did I say it correct? I don't know. Can you unmute yourself? I want to hear for you. For you, what does it mean to have love teach you? Oh, and you haven't been unmuted yet. You have to click a little. There's a little thing to click. It's like a, looks like a microphone. Oh, there
I
we go.
got it. I think I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what does it mean, love to you? Sorry?
What does it mean to you to have love teach you or love guide you?
What does it mean? For me, it means just to let myself go with the flow, with what I feel inside. Just let it carry me through life and just share what is inside me with everybody else. Just not to stress, just to feel nature and everything else and just be able to share it.
Oh, beautiful. Where are you joining?
Not to use my head, just to use my heart.
Where are you joining from?
Spain.
From Spain. Which part?
From the north, the Basque Country. Bilbao.
Wow. And how did you know about this call?
Pilar.
Pilar.
My good friend Pilar.
Fantastic.
She has been my mentor for many years. I met her in London many years ago, and she has been my little guru. So she introduced me to the group.
Beautiful. Well, it's so good to have you here. Did you do the
She's an
7-day?
amazing lady, amazing.
Yeah, did you do the, and her mother as well. Did you do the 7-day detox with her?
Do you know what? I tried to do it, but by the third day, I couldn't carry on with it. I would try again. I'm not sure I was cooking the soup properly, to be honest. So I need to learn how to do it properly. Yeah.
Well, so beautiful. I want to go to Marie next. Marie, I don't know if you'd be willing to share, but what do you feel like love is creating in your life or creating through you?
Hi, everybody. I apologize to Patricia. Our internet went, so I just had to rejoin the meeting. We were talking and got interrupted by that.
Yeah, some people are having internet challenges. Even Brad says, my internet connection is not stable. I'll pass on the video, but love allows me to clear everything away and drop judgment of right and wrong. Oh, so beautiful, Brad. What about for you, Marie?
Well, I feel that love creates, first of all, more love. It is contagious towards other people. It creates more understanding, tolerance, happiness. I think that's about it. It's just that you approach people in a different way through love.
Mm.
With a and when you show love, it makes them feel better, so their attitude changes. It's bettering the world.
So powerful, so beautiful. How about for you, Ken? What is love teaching you, or what is love creating in your life?
Oh my God. First off, I love you, brother. I hope you're going to be in Utah, because I just really need to give you a big loving hug.
Ken, it's good to see you, brother.
Oh, I hope I see you, my man. You loving soul, you. I just had the most amazing experience in the breakout room. And we were all talking about, you know what love has taught me? And my beautiful brother, Gary, he really brought it up. It's all about the receiving. And here, everybody here, you have such beautiful souls, and we just want to give and give and give so much, you know, but the problem is when we're sitting there and we're just giving and we're not receiving, we're just basically serving a cup with no gift in it. It's just empty. And what I've really learned from myself is the power of the receiving. Because it's like this. I give this little example. If I invite you all over my house for filet mignon and lobster, Or if you're vegetarian, we'll have vegetarian lobster and filet mignon, okay? Mung bean soup, okay? All right, everybody's gonna come over for mung bean soup. And you're all excited, and Clint's telling Gary, and Gary's telling Shelly and Marie and Ruth, and we're all like, well, we're gonna go over, and I made this big, huge 55-gallon drum of this, because I can't do anything small. And you show up, and I have burnt hot dogs and SpaghettiOs. And you're looking, and you're going, Ken, where's the mung bean soup? Oh, I don't really know. I don't know how to serve that, but I have this and I'm so excited. I'm like, look at this SpaghettiOs and these burnt hot dogs. They're amazing. And it was like the best one that I ever had. And in my mind, in my soul, that is my mung bean soup. Why? Because every time you all tried to give me mung bean soup, I says, no, I'm okay. No, I'm okay. I have my SpaghettiOs and hot dogs. So the analogy is when you're trying to give me love and I sit there and I just can't receive it, then I'm not able to sit there and give it also. So that's basically what love has really taught me. And if anybody resonates with that, I hope it does. I hope you don't even hear the words I'm saying. I hope you hear the soul that's just coming from my heart of what really is going on, and feel the energy of the love in here. And feel how I can feel right now, the room is vibrating up. It's literally raised up. Somebody's like, whoo, and I'm feeling you, whoo. So love has just absolutely taught me that it's okay to receive. It's okay to receive the healing. It's okay to just go through that beautiful arms open and be like, wow, I truly do. And I don't have to play small anymore, because the more I receive you, oh, the more mung bean soup I can serve you.
That's awesome, Ken. Thank you for that. You know, speaking about mung bean soup and serving mung soup and what love creates, first of all, that feeling of love, I had my first soul song done for me when I was in Cabo, Gary, and I sing it all the time. And it's that feeling of receiving love. Everyone in the room was singing this song to me. May Clint enjoy the beauty of his being and let the love flow through. That's my soul song.
Let the love flow through. Let the love flow through.
So if you can join on today, 12 noon, there's going to be a soul song where you can find out your soul song. It's one way to receive love, is to have this soul song created. And it's such a beautiful thing Gary's doing. Put in the chat, Gary, so people can join it. But
Yeah,
then you spoke about
12 noon Pacific. I'll put it in the chat.
And then you spoke about mung soup, giving and receiving mung soup. Actually, on the call right now, Art is here. He's moving to a beautiful place, Marin County, and he's creating a situation where anyone that wants mung soup, he's going to deliver it to their home. Like, this is what love is teaching him.
In my home. Who is this?
Art, can you share about what love is creating through you?
Well, a little backstory. I'm an Ayurvedic chef. I've been studying Ayurveda since the early 70s. And when I, through my roommate here, discovered Clint and his 30-day mung bean challenge, I said, well, hey, I can do that. And I started cooking soup for the whole household, and everybody loved it. And it's just so easy for me to do. I said, hey, anybody that really wants this stuff, if they cover the costs, I'm willing to do it. If they don't have the facility to cook it or the ability to cook it or whatever, I can provide the soup for anybody that wants it.
Sold American. Oh my God. Art, you're living in my home county. I can't wait to connect.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not there yet. I'll be there the 1st of June.
Well, I have some secrets from my recipe I'd love to share with you.
Yeah. So anyone in San Rafael, if you're interested in Marin County to have mung soup delivered to your door, this is what Art, his love has inspired him. And what a cool model that can be duplicated all over the world. You know, actually, I'm going to Syracuse tonight. I fly with Kyle. We have a beautiful clinic tomorrow and the next day at this, it's called Nature Time through Dr. Steven. And Nature Time makes mung soup and delivers it to people. And so in Syracuse, New York, people can get mung soup delivered to their home. Art is going to do that in Marin County. Also, who was on the call before, Vikram Das, him and his wife have a food delivery business, and they're willing to make mung soup. What a cool thing love is doing. You know, who knew love was going to show up in this? Actually, Catherine's mother in Alabama last night, she says, we need a new name. Instead of calling it mung soup, let's call it Mung Beam Elixir or something like that. So they call it Miracle Mung Soup. Vikram, so glad for you to do this. And then you can tell all the stories about it too.
Sure.
Yeah, beautiful. So now, Gary, we just have a couple minutes. Any music you want to share, just to kind of wrap us in this?
Absolutely. It's only 3 minutes, and of course, it's aptly titled, and we've heard it before, but it's perfect for this moment. It's called Unconditional Love from Unspeakable Grace. And again, another opportunity, this time for those of you who really, really want to have the giving receiving loop, let yourself be seen. Keep your eyes open and bless us with your love and your gaze and your presence. And in the same moment, let it come in and use it as an opportunity to let the flow, let that Clint soul song goes, let the love flow through.
Actually, real quick, Art, if you can put your contact information, how people can connect with you if they're interested in getting Hmong soup in Marin County area, that'd be awesome. Or anyone that's interested in how he's doing it, put that
How do
in.
I do that?
In the chat, you just type in you just click on the chat and then you put your email address or contact information, or you can text it to me and I can put it in. Either way is fine.
Okay.
And yeah, I fully invite you, you know, in this beautiful day of Easter, in this beautiful context of ancient secrets and ancient healing, you know, my soul song was, "May Clint enjoy the beauty of his being and let the love flow through." And I just want to thank you, Gary. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, for letting love guide you to this moment now. So in this sacred space of this 3 minutes, how much love can you let flow in you and let flow through you? Gary?
Yes. All right, hold on. Sharing. And remember, this music can uplift your frequency. Just let yourself receive it and let us share and experience the presence of the love that's coming through us today and in every moment. Here we go. unconditional love from unspeakable grace. Thank you. We are all so blessed to be in this incredible love, starting from the beautiful, beautiful work that Dr. Clint's book talks about. I love you, Clint, and I love all of you. Bless.
Love you. Definitely check out Soul Song Sunday at 12 noon Pacific if you can. I love you. I'm with you. You can unmute yourself. I love you. I'm with you. I hope you enjoy such a beautiful Easter.
Love you and with you.
Love
Love you and with
Love
you.
you and I'm with you.
With
Love you and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
Love you.
And I'm with you.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
And I'm with you.
Wonderful week. I love you and I'm with you. Thank you, everyone.
And I'm with you.
Love you, Ramesh.
Love you and with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you. Love you and with you.
So beautiful. I love you. I'm with you. I'm so excited to see what love creates through you in your life today, Easter Sunday, this week. In this moment, I feel so grateful for you. So much love. I love you. I'm with you. See you next Sunday. I love you and I'm with you. Namaste.